Hello, this is Star Television, Channel 21. I am Leonela Jawala. Welcome to the National News Bulletin. And these are the top stories making the news. The newly appointed Deputy Commissioner, National Commission for Social Action, who doubles as the organizing secretary for the ruling Sierra Leone People's Party, Batilo Songa, has made his intention official, vying for the chairmanship of his party.
From the bottom and it's going to the top. You know, I've worked with the grassroots for a very long time. Since we took power, I decided to stay at the party office. And I've been going around the country giving them hope. And they trust me. They believe that when I take over the mantle of the chairmanship of the Sierra Leone People's Party, they are going to enjoy.
The Parliamentary Committee on NACSA and NGO'S in the Sierra Leone Parliament concludes oversight visits in some operational areas of selected NGO'S and NACSA projects in loko, bombali and tonkolili districts, northern Sierra Leone.
The aim of the oversight is to get first-hand information on projects implemented by NGO'S and NACSA for and on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone.
The Executive Director, Native Consortium and Research Center, Edmond Jr., has in an open letter to the Bank Governor Prof. Keifala Morana Kallon requested his resignation for what he called his inability to effectively manage the liquidity crisis in the country.
Mandate for him to resign if he cannot solve this problem, and if we continue this problem to the end of the month, that means we are calling for President Bio. I mean, this is a term job.
And in sports, the Western Region national team has begun training at the Siaka Stadium ahead of the Sierra Leone Athletics Association annual national championship slated in April 2021. All these making the headlines. Details of the news now. The newly appointed Deputy Commissioner, National Commission for Social Action, NACSA, who doubles as the organizing secretary for the ruling Sierra Leone People's Party, Batilo Songa, has made his intention official, vying for the chairmanship of his party amidst a rousing welcome in the township of Bo and Kenema. Now, many party supporters over the weekend openly declared their support for Batilo Songa, who many describe as a right man for the moment. Star TV was in attendance and brings you highlights of the event.
From the bottom and it's going to the top. You know, I've worked with the grassroots for a very long time. Since we took power, I decided to stay at the party office. And I've been going around the country giving them hope. And they trust me. They believe that when I take over the mantle of the chairmanship of the Sierra Leone People's Party, they are going to enjoy. Because they and myself are one. We've tied a bond throughout this country. The first thing I'm going to do, I am going to educate all those that are supporting me, for them to know that we are in one party. And that's why we have a motto that says, one country, one people. I am going to talk about peace and tranquility throughout my campaign. I am going to talk about discipline. I am going to tell them to respect the opinions of other people, and above all, one of the pillars in my manifesto, the transformative agenda for SLPP, is one of cohesion. So I will do everything possible, even if you don't support me. It's coming from the grassroots, as I've said earlier on. It's coming way from the bottom, and it's just going to stop at the chairmanship of the Sierra Leone People's Party. I will make sure that we have a database of all our membership throughout the world, not just in Sierra Leone. It's going to be online, and we'll know our members in all constituencies in this country. So we'll know where our strengths and weaknesses lie. After that, I am going to ensure that I unite the party behind His Excellency, the President, so that he can get his second term. I'm going to introduce a newspaper or not introduce, I am going to rebrand the Unity newspaper. And if possible, for us to get our own printed press, so that we'll be printing our daily. It's going to be daily news. I'm going to reintroduce the press conference that the former leader used to do for us to sell party policies or those policies that we have promised in the People's Manifesto, so that the people will know what we have done for them. I'm going to bring discipline in the party. I'm going to bring prudent financial management in the party. And above all, I am just going to support and follow the leader's plan as he actually espoused in the just concluded NEC meeting. Now in the race that is really caring, SLPP need a caring man to look after those that have no voice. I am going to be the voice of the voiceless because we've won elections. And you know, the job of the president, according to Chapter 1 of 1991 Constitution, it clearly states that the president will have to look after the state. Whether you are APC, SLPP, the president should look after you. What is going to be my job is to look after SLPP people, provide jobs for them, make sure that those that are currently in university, for them to have scholarship. The market women that are dancing, singing Madabio out there, they should be able to get microcredit. The disabled brothers and sisters that are just going up and down in the street, I should be able to provide something for them socially so that their condition will improve. Now, my relationship with the president, I've said it in many interviews. I am in this country because of him. I trusted him even before he became president. I've worked with him directly. It's something I cannot hide. I know what he likes, and I know what he don't like. And as such, I will be the fittest man to give him the right support for him to do his second term without any problem.
The Parliamentary Committee on NACSA and NGO'S in the Sierra Leone Parliament concludes oversight visit in some operational areas of selected NGO'S and NACSA projects in loko, bombali, and tonkolili districts, northern Sierra Leone. There is the report.
The Parliamentary Oversight Committee on NACSA and NGO'S in the Sierra Leone Parliament, chaired by Honorable Dr. Roland F. Kagbo, has ended a 4-day on-the-spot oversight visitations in some operational areas of selected NGO'S and NACSA projects in loko, bombali, and tonkolili districts in the northern part of Sierra Leone. The aim of the oversight is to get first-hand information on projects implemented by NGO'S and NACSA for and on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone. In his respective statements on the sites visited, Honorable Dr. R. Kagbo said the committee has a constitutional mandate to carry out oversight on NACSA and NGO'S projects in the country, citing the relevant constitutional provisions, and further noted that it was not a witch hunt, but it was their responsibility as MPs to oversee their work. In loko districts, the committee visited the Kambantama and Mange Town community health post in the BKM chiefdom, constructed by NACSA. During the tour of the facilities alongside staff of NACSA, MPs raised concerns on the delay in the completion of the project, the poor quality of furniture supplied by the contractors, and the delay in handing over of the said facilities to the Ministry of Health and Sanitation and the beneficiary communities. In Tonkolili district, the committee visited the TDC Primary School at Petfuline, TDC Primary School, and Marantan Senior Secondary School, both in Masimbi. Unlike in loko district, the committee was encouraged by the quality of furniture supplied by the contractors. But however, structures which had leakages and cracks were of concern. The contracts for the paid project, according to documents, were awarded in 2017, and they were to have lasted for 6 months, but lasted for over 3 years. And as at the time of the oversight, they have not been officially handed over. In addition, the committee was concerned by the action of NACSA to give all contractors their retention fees without the insurance of completion. In addition to NACSA projects, the committee also visited NGO'S and some of their projects in Bombali district, They were Mankind Activities for Development Accreditation Movement, MATI Initiative Empowerment Program for Sustainable Development, the Bridge of Hope, and InterAid. Unfortunately, the three NGOs the committee intended to visit in Port Loko, Poverty Eradication Center, Safe Water Sierra Leone and Team International were not found. In Bombali, the committee was extremely impressed with the work of Mankind Activities for Development Accreditation Movement, the Bridge for Hope, and InterAid, and called on government to double their partnership efforts with especially Mankind Activities for Development Accreditation Movement and Bridge of Hope. The committee, in its concluding statements to both NACSA and NGOs, disclosed that they would be summoned to Parliament for further engagement. For Star News, I am Yesi Ernest Hallowell reporting.
The Executive Director, Native Consortium and Research Center, Edmond Jr., has in an open letter to the Bank Governor Professor Keifala Morana Kallon requested his resignation for what he called his inability to effectively manage the liquidity crisis in the country. Edmond described the governor's interventions so far in handling the shortage of loans as mere textbook hypothesis, resulting in nothing. Alfie Barry compiled this report, read by Zainab Sulkari Kuruma.
The executive director of Native Consortium, Edmond Jr., said that the reason given by the bank governor for the liquidity crisis is unsatisfactory, adding that Sierra Leone is not the only country that is grappling with COVID-19. He further stated that the consortium had advised the governor to shift the printing of our currency solely in the hands of Thomas de la Rue, adding that the lack of loans in the market has resulted in bringing untold suffering on the people, which he said is enough reason for the governor to resign, because he had failed to meet his own promise of bringing fresh consignments of cash in the country by mid-January.
That, okay, at X, from this period to this period, you're supposed to print. Printing money is not something, it's not a rocket science. That he said that he made reorder for a consignment of 25 billion, and then he also said that he made last 2020 January that he made an order for the printing of notes to serve us for 2 years. So why? And then he also said he also made another order that he went, oh, there was a long queue at Thomas de la Rue, that blah 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 because of the COVID. But ask yourself, what do we has? There's no other country within the continent that has experienced this kind of, and no less a thing, no less a period than the festive season when the spending power. Yeah, that's very good. Liberia experience is different. Now the Bank Governor of, I've been to Liberia many times. The Bank Governor of Liberia will only reorder the printing of notes, except it goes through the Senate. That is one. Number two, the Liberty is like a surrogate currency to the US dollar, so they don't feel the heat more. Meaning, it's not like here we have a ban on dollar. There, you can even use dollar to buy belly cake. I mean US dollar. So they are not feeling the crunch as much as we do when we are having a ban. So that explanation is untenable. And mark you, to round it up, he said during the festive season that by mid-January, today is the 28th, and Parliament have just called him that there is going to be a consignment of 25 billion. So we don't need much further explanation. If he cannot handle this kind of thing, then let him resign. That's why we're asking him to resign. We are demanding for him to resign if he cannot solve this problem. And if we continue this problem to the end of the month, that means we are calling for President Bio. I mean, this is a tenure job. You don't sack a bank governor because it's a tenure job. They give them contract for like five years. But we cannot continue with all this economic textbook jazz.
In another development, the Executive Director, Edmond, has called on the new Minister of Lands and Country Planning, Dr. Toured Senesi, to look into what he called the astronomical price tag that house owners normally demand for house rent.
Well, sometimes we commend his intervention that was based upon our advocacy also. We started that dollar, the de-dollarization of the economy from the days of the APC administration, that we need to de-dollarize the economy. People are asking for too much of dollars. And when you have too much of yours chasing too few dollars, that's the time you experience depreciation in the leo. So that one is a separate. But what we are asking now is the issue of landlords. I mean, asking for not only an astronomical increment in rent, but now they have taken it further now to ask for 2 years rent. and it is gradually becoming a pattern, like as if it's an accepted norm. Mark you, people are suffering. Sabari, you just walk around the street, just go to places, go to the villages, and this you experience this in the urban cities more. 2009, 10, 11, when African Mineral came, they were, along the northern part of the country. House rents became, people increased their house rent by 300% between 2009 because of the African Mineral, London mining. We saw that at Musa and Mabuka. And this is prevalent in almost all the district headquarter towns. So we think that the new Minister of Lands, this is supposed to be one of his first assignments, because the Minister of House is on. It's not about, we just want the government to issue a position or a statement or possibly a policy that if anybody asks for 2 years rent, it's illegal. Because we are not, landlords have made, the country to become a cathedral of exploitation, to exploit people. For us, we think, there should be a check.
He concluded by calling on the minister to hold a consultative meeting in order for all stakeholders to thrash out solutions to these problems. Compiled by Afi Barry, read in the studio by Zainab Sunkari Kuruma.
And if you just joined us, this is the National News Bulletin here on Star TV. Now, the Tony Elumelu Foundation, TEF, Africa's leading philanthropy dedicated to empowering African entrepreneurs, opens application on its TEF Connect digital platform. According to the Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director, United Bank for Africa, Siaka Usman, this year's intervention prioritizes the economic recovery of small and medium enterprises and young African entrepreneurs following the COVID-19 disruption to economic activities. He made this disclosure at an event held on Friday, January 22nd, at the New Brookfield Hotel in Freetown. Here's the report.
This year's intervention promises to prioritize the economic recovery of small and medium-scale enterprises and young African entrepreneurs following the COVID-19 disruption to economic activities, improving the Sierra Leonean youth participation in the program through this collaboration. Over the years, Sierra Leone has had a little over 100 applicants, with just a handful of those applicants making it to the final stage. This year, the bank has decided to collaborate with the Ministry of Youth and the TEF alumni to drive a higher participation level from Sierra Leone and have more Sierra Leonean youth benefiting from this enormous opportunity through the following arrangement. One, by ensuring that this call in Sierra Leone is launched by the Honorable Minister of Youth here present with us. Two, by ensuring that the ministry provide a platform to engage the National Youth Corps members at the orientation camp to share this call for their participation in the program as well. And three, the ministry takes the lead in sharing this TEF 2021 call to all its network. Five, TEF alumni to provide training guidelines to the members of the public on how to successfully complete the TEF application and how to submit a good business proposal. And lastly, to get the members of the media to also promote this call across the country so that collectively we can get a higher number of Sierra Leonean youth to enjoy this grant of $5,000. And beyond the $5,000 is the fact that they will have access to a network of over 1 million people across the 54 African countries in the continent.
Sierra Leone. And you heard from previous speakers, the TEF Foundation is here to change our stories. The foundation is here for young people. And it's a $100 million project for 10,000 young people in Africa. How many beneficiaries we have from Sierra Leone? you're giving everything for you to get it. So if, like the MD said, you have 10, 15 for the past 5 years or so, from 2005, right? 2015 to date, you have very few. Go back, ask how many Nigerians last year, they got over 50 just in 1 year. Kenya, Rwanda, 300, right? 300. It means we have a generational issue that we should all come together to change the narrative. A few minutes ago, 2018, when I was blessed with the opportunity to serve young people of this country, I challenged myself that we need to start the National Youth Service. I'm going to start that in 3 months. Met with partners, they said, come on, this thing has been in existence for the past 3, 4, 5, 6 years. But yet, it's just on paper. I said, I'm going to practicalize it. I was serving as accountant, budget man. We started with 350, 2018. 2019, 500. And to date, we have 800 graduates at the police station.
To those people who have not benefited from Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program, this is an opportunity you should not sleep on. It's free. You get a grant of $5,000. You get to be trained online, because the money without the knowledge to run the business would not also guarantee the success of the business. So you need the knowledge. And it's a package. They give you the 2 months training online. You get the $5,000 seed capital, you get network opportunity. And there's also a push from behind the scenes. Mostly the foundation doesn't let go of its entrepreneurs. So every opportunity they know of, they always inform their entrepreneurs in that sector. Say there's an opportunity here, there, and so on. So it's a win-win. And for the government, this is something they can really encourage more young people and push for. In Nigeria, Ghana, and other countries, mostly the young people don't play with those opportunities. But majorly here, we want to be fed, we want to be given fish. We don't want opportunities where they say, come and learn how to fish. Again, the seriousness comes from within, the desire to succeed comes from within. It comes down to the individuals. This is something people should not even beg you to apply for. This is something you should be chasing after people for guide to apply. But in Sierra Leone, people are sleeping on that opportunity. This is the 10th year of the Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. Till date, we have less than 50 people. I'm even saying less than 50, less than 30 people, all the 10 years who benefited from Sierra Leone. Whereas in other countries, per year, you get 300, minimum 100 and above. We've not even met that yet.
Now, as NACOVAC introduces tough measures to curtail what happens to be the second wave and a new strain of the COVID-19 hitting Sierra Leone and other parts of Africa, residents in Freetown, including restaurant and bar owners and traders, have expressed concerns on what they make of the measures that takes effect on Monday, January 25th.
The mask go prefer, because what make I say the mask go prefer, when you don't put the mask on, that don't prevent you from the sick. So this inter-district lockdown, I not see say it makes sense for them to put them, because of most of the goods the way they come, when our raw goods them for kind inside town, they know they come again, and it go make the people in the strain, even we with the strain. You understand? So like. This inter-district lockdown, no need for making let them just put the criteria as they say, let people abide to, washing of hands, the face mask, so all that good. But the inter-district lockdown, really no one let them put on absolutely.
We don't know this because we customer there, where they come up like they can buy to with a price. You understand? Where they say they can buy for go sell. Now they don't stop now for we no canton. We back where they turn on for online. Now we don't strain it difficult so we can so we not single parents here. Where now we take your food begin there and after the business they get. You see? So now if they don't stop now when they can eat on, they strain. So we're not happy. You know, really happy. It affects really the trader right now.
Then right now at all. Some man not get table. You understand it? Some man not get table. some man away, some man don't pack even 10. You get chance for 17, then 12. Then you will get a trouble. But right now, if they can't put this coffee order, how many people survive? Net. Una don't disturb her. Nothing no go get. So the triangleness, you know, go down. Look up like road. If you look and you know, they say this street to this street. Tell me to how people go come inside.
Now they come up on what's alone. And they can't do business at all. And would they sell by the time they get sell by then 10, by then 9 to 10, now they get sell. If they can't make this coffee order, I don't well with it. I don't send money. I don't send money to my granny for buy for my for me. They're not lock good. How my own business will come with me. So would they beg Papa government? Yeah. That coffee order, we don't know what I would. Me coffee order, no anti please not coffee order, no I made the sign myself. We know coffee order. Yes, we learn to the law, but you will always say for people they use face masks and yes, in fine. Face masks for the street, everybody for use face masks to come on and goes. Then in fine, wash hand in fine, but that coffee order will no answer. Because if you coffee order, some of us also do not estimate. Estimate. Some of who they do the transportation, they don't pass 10 o'clock.
When they don't lock to one, upline the car, fit on the go, and seen for cook. It's damn too difficult. See the deer, and not all man the cow to them. So man it's in the worst in a wood. So you don't see it the deer. And right now, sell Lord this December will not do business at all. All the customers also will not do one business. So as they don't so lockdown come, so it affects me too much.
How they make business. Now they don't can't talk say Saturday. Police and Kaya say, let we not open. No, from Friday to Saturday no open. So how we able to get money? How we able to take care of picking there? Me na 10,000 now they give me picking. Transport and school lunch for go Lumley. They now beach bar no on Saturday and Sunday. I no go able to get money again. Me why they work they no go able to pay me because no business. So I'm not glad for that. For Saturday and Sunday. Our government look inside for the beach bar because they pay heavy tax. They will all the work na beach bar from the business where we sell. Now the one they will get the bad and pay we. But if business no go on, how they go pay without they can suffer. We picking and go suffer. We they appeal to the government. Let look to the beach bar them for Saturday and Sunday. We got the people all the time inside.
For us in the hotel industry, one is that it affects us greatly because we make money on 3 days in a week. Come Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now they say there is a lockdown the weekend. You cannot operate. It tells from us investment. It is even affecting our staff reduction. If this thing continues like that, we will lose workers completely. For now, we are coping because they said it's 2 weeks. They are expecting, or if there is anything, they will revise the lockdown. The other thing is that it is affecting us financially. The workers will be affected in their salary. Because in the hotel industry, the day you work is the day they pay you. For any reason, if it is not your day off, you don't come to work, you are not going to be paid. We are appealing that the lockdown, especially on the weekends, should be looked into critically. Why? Because the hotel industry, it is those days that they make money. If we can operate on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, why now, Friday or Saturday, Sunday? Why there should be a lockdown in that?
And to round up the news bulletin, let's turn our attention to sport. As the Western Region national team has begun training at the St. Stephen's Stadium ahead of the Sierra Leone Athletics Association annual national championship slated for April 2021. Hilton Jonas, sports correspondent, has more for you.
Hello everyone, welcome for today's sporting news. Since the ban of sports has been lifted across the country by NACSA through the Ministry of Sports and National Sport Authority, the Sierra Leone Athletics Association Western Region athletes has begun training ahead of the National Championship in April. According to the technical director of the Sierra Leone Athletics Association, Harold Palmer, this will help to select better athletes that will represent the country in international competition. Harold Palmer explained more to Star Sport about the ongoing training from the point of Western Region ahead of the National Championship.
We've already set a date for the National Championship, and that will be the 7th, 8th and 9th of April. And so it is very important for the athletes because the international body do not recognize any other thing more than the National Championship.
You go through, finish.
So what is your impression about the performance of these athletes return back to the training grounds?
They've been trying because during the lockdown we were sending them on a training schedule in their houses because we set up a WhatsApp group. So they've been training, and I'll say they're trying. I'm really impressed with the level of endurance.
Is this part of the assessment to select better athletes that will represent the country?
Yes, that is part of the assessment. And all other training camps have started their work.
We just targeted athletes from the Western region. Why?
We will have to move to the regions as well. Because now every coach, they are now focusing on the training for the National Championship. After that, we'll now select athletes for national assignment.
You're impressed with the performance?
Yes, very much.
Expectation from the different camps?
I'm expecting something very good for the National Championship because all this training gears towards National Championship. So I'm expecting something very good for National Championship.
So it is good. Athletes are back on the track to see how they will exhibit their talents that will be coming up with the National Championship. That will create a way to see more better athletes that will represent Sierra Leone in future competition upcoming. It was disastrous for Liverpool Football Club over the weekend after they failed to win against Bombali the previous days, and now in the FA Cup. They were defeated by Manchester United by 3-2. Bruno Fernandes, the substitute, came from the bench and scored from a free kick spot and had United a ticket to the next round of the FA Cup. Here is a highlight of the match.
Junior Wijnaldum. Firmino. Oh, it's a really smart ball for Mo Salah. Big chance this! And he doesn't pass up opportunities like that, Mo Salah. Rashford. Oh, it's a really smart ball from him, and this is danger for Liverpool. Greenwood with the opportunity, and he doesn't pass that up either. Such a clinical pass forward. And it's a mistake from Reece Williams there, and it's Marcus Rashford again raining away for Manchester United, and it's cruel on Reece Williams, it really is. Taking confidence from it, and he's back in that position again. Salah! Fernandes! That's 12 in his last 16 now. The beacon of hope, and he's produced the goods again.
Chelsea have sacked their manager, Frank Lampard, after he spent 16 months at the club. He replaced former bombali, despite he succeeded in the FA Cup over the weekend against Wilton Poyet by 3-1. Yossi Holloway tells us more.
Chelsea has fired manager Frank Lampard after 18 months in charge, with former Paris Saint-Germain boss Thomas Tuchel expected to replace him. Lampard, 42, lives with the club 9th in the Premier League after last week's defeat at Leicester City, having won once in their past 5 league matches. His final game was Sunday's 3-1 FA Cup 4th round win against Luton. Lampard was appointed on a 3-year contract when he replaced Maurice Sarri at Stamford Bridge in July 2019. Lampard had seen enough Chelsea managers go to know the score. Tuchel set to come in after Lampard sacking reaction. The former Chelsea midfielder guided them to 4th place and the FA Cup final in his first season in charge, and a 3-1 win against Leeds in early December puts the club top of the Premier League. However, the Blues have suffered 5 defeats in the past 8 league games, as many as they had in their previous 23. In a statement, Chelsea said, "This has been a very difficult decision and not one that the owner and the board have taken lightly. We are grateful to Frank for what he has achieved in his time as head coach of the club. However, recent results and performances have not met the club's expectations, leaving the club mid-table without any clear path to sustained improvement. There can never be a good time to part ways with a club legend such as Frank, but after lengthy deliberation and consideration, it was decided a change is needed now to give the club time to improve performances and results this season." Owner Roman Abramovich said, "Lampard's status as an important icon of the club remains undiminished, despite his dismissal. This was a very difficult decision for the club, not least because I have an excellent personal relationship with Frank, and I have the utmost respect for him," said Abramovich. "He is a man of great integrity and has the highest of work ethics. However, under current circumstances, we believe it is best to change managers." For Star TV Sports, I am Yesi Ernest Hallowell reporting.
That's all for sports. For today's news, back to Leonard Java in the studio.
Many thanks to Hilton, and that's all we have for you in the National News Bulletin file. Thank you so much for watching. I am Leonard Jawara. Just stay with us if you can for more information, education, and entertainment.